Officer of Community Development Agency for Hertfordshire. We're a county-wide charity with our office in Hatfield, trying to be as central as possible. We're also the Rural Community Council. We provide lots of support services, and we run a few projects as well. So what's local to you here is that we run the play area in the prison for the children of visitors. And then we have a brand new Scoots project, which is coming to Hemel, Watford and St Albans. It's the county managed to get chunky money, just under 10 million, to do with sustainable transport. We have one of our projects, which is a scooter, which it's different this time around. What it is for young, any age, to pay a certain amount every week, and at the end of a period of time, the scooter will belong to them. But we provide all the training, all the kit, etc. So hopefully it will be helpful as part of their transport solution. And the other thing was network for this new Police and Crime Commissioner. I got a certain amount of funding to run network meetings, and I thought it was, as time moved on, that the candidates should meet the public. Just a silly idea, right? really very silly. Them together at the same place at the same time has been a little bit difficult. But here we are. So welcome to David and Sherma. And I think the way we'll run it is, I'm not Mrs. Dimbleby, as you can gather, is that if I ask each of them to introduce themselves for about no more longer, I know they're both politicians, no more than 5 minutes, say why, and then I'll open it up to the floor. A handful of people have given me some questions, so I've got some ready in reserve if there's silence from you. And so, fire away. So, shall we start alphabetically? David?
I wondered if that was alphabetically on first names.
First names.
Or alphabetically on second names. Or, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm David Lloyd. I'm the Conservative candidate for Police and Crime Commissioner for Hertfordshire. And it's a role which is a really big, really new role, a really important role. What this role is about is holding the Chief Constable to account. It's about setting the budget. It's about setting the policing plan. And I think that I'm very well qualified to do that because I do a very similar role at the moment. I chair the police authority, and the police authority, of course, holds the Chief Constable to account, hires or fires the Chief Constable, sets the budget, sets the policing plan. And I think that I've done it with some very good outcomes over the last year. Over the last year, crime has fallen by more than 20%. You're about twice as likely to get caught if you're a criminal in this county than you are elsewhere. And of course, the council tax, which we all look at every year when it comes from the door, hasn't gone up since I've been in charge. So I think I've got a good record, and that's what I'm standing on. And I think it's important that you have someone who is in situ already, because we've got a lot of work to do over the coming year, and we really don't have the time to have a big hiatus where we get to know the Chief Constable and get to do that. We need to go in and hit the ground running. And what I'm hoping is that as Commissioner, I already know all of those people. I've appointed, with a couple of others, I've appointed the Chief Constable, I've appointed the Deputy Chief Constable, I've appointed the Assistant Chief Constable. So I know that top team, I know how they work, and I think that's really important. Because what's really so important about this role is that for the very first time, you are able to put your opinions into what should happen with policing. And I think it's really important you've got someone who has got almost the luxury of being able to go out and listen to what people are saying, because already understands what's happening in policing and has got a good idea about what the issues are. And that's why I think I've got a unique selling point there. I think it's something which is really important in terms of how we go forward. It's a really big role. It's something which I think is an exciting role. And I think for the first time, you, the people, are in charge of policing in this county. And I think that's really very important.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Hello. Well, I don't really need to explain to you again what this role is all about. It is very new for us in Hertfordshire. We've been very used to having a police authority that has 17 people that are spread across the county, representing each particular district, which is different to what's going to happen now. One of the issues I would have with it is that we've changed it in a way that people aren't going to expect. Since they didn't really know much about the authority in the first place, that's what's being said. So we're going to have one person who is responsible and accountable to the whole electorate of the county, which is very different, which I hope that people will embrace and get to know, whoever it is, whichever one of us gets elected. Now, I have 30 years experience in the community and 16 years experience as a councillor on the ground in the community. 8 of those years was at Hertfordshire County Council, and now I've done another 8 years as a borough councillor and a portfolio holder for community health and older people. I also spent 4 years on Hertfordshire Police Authority with David, and actually, as a team, the whole group of us did quite a bit of work in improving safety in the community, working very closely with the Chief Constable and the Constabulary to make Hertfordshire one of the safest places to be in the whole of the county. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm not going to belittle it in any way or say that, to dismiss it, because all that work that we all did together was very, very important, and I feel that I did contribute to that. One of the things that we really do need with this new role is a lot more engagement in the community. We need to talk to... We will need to reach out to the community, listen to their views, and actually try and make sure we work with the Chief Constable and the Constabulary to deliver a service that people need. This will be one person which people won't get used to. There'll be a lot of work to do. I feel that I am quite well placed to do this because I have spent a lot of my time in the community listening to people. I've been involved with the Diversity Engagement Forum, which we actually set up, some of us set up together in the Police Authority, to bring all the diverse groups together, all the different protected communities together, so that they would be able to tell their views to the Police Authority, and the Police Authority would have the opinions of the communities when fixing the policing plan. And that's been really important. That particular group has had disabled people, lesbian, gay and bisexual people, travellers, ethnic minorities, all those different groups have been involved in contributing to that. And I've held that group together since I've not been on the authority, which is the last 3.5 years, which I'm very proud of. And they are very keen to be able to continue. I'd like to be able to expand that kind of work. I'm really keen to make sure that the police serve the community and have all the backing and support that they need financially. And my big issue with being the Commissioner, if I'm elected, is to keep that service within the Constabulary, as opposed to giving it to somebody else to run. And that is probably going to be the big difference between the two of us, is that this constabulary that we have is a constabulary to be proud of, and I intend to be able to promote that more to the community and enable the community to feel more confident about the service that they get from the police. For me, it's policing by consent that we're supposed to be supporting, and I would like to be able to do that and be the voice of the community when working in partnership with the Chief Constable. I think that's all I'm going to say right now.
Thank you. Cool. Sorry we started, we were late starting. So each candidate has had 5 minutes introduction, so I don't know if you want to say who you are and why you're sitting at this time.
Right. I'm sorry, because the email that I had said that we were starting at 10 to 6.
Oh.
And I thought I was on time.
Sorry, sorry. Apologies to Paul's. There was some said 5:30 and some said 10:06. Sorry, Paul.
Okay. My name's Paul Zukowskj. I'm the chair of Hertfordshire Liberal Democrats. And I'm standing here in lieu of our candidate as we are still in the selection procedures that the party requires us to go through to ensure that our candidate is democratically and fairly selected from the people who put their names forward. So we're still actually in that process. Unfortunately, I'm not the candidate, or at least I hope I'm not, because I am approved as a potential Police and Crime Commissioner candidate by the party, but I have not put my name forward for selection. That's the situation that we're in. So I'm representing Hertfordshire Liberal Democrats, and I can speak about the police and the Police and Crime Commissioner elections that we've got coming up. As Liberal Democrats, we were somewhat torn when it came to police and crime commissioners, because we do want to see local accountability of the police. However, we think investing this much power and this much influence in an individual as a principle is probably not the best way of delivering it, delivering an effective police force. However, we are putting forward a candidate because we believe that policing is, and certain crime issues are incredibly important aspects of being in a democracy. We need to deal with those appropriately. What are some of the things that we actually stand for? What are we looking to do? Well, we're very keen on the idea of local people having a local influence on lots of different policy areas, but on crime and policing as well. So one of the things that is a keystone of our policy is neighbourhood justice powers, so that local people, local representatives get an option to actually say what they would like to see as community punishments for small-time offenders, rather than sending everybody who graffitis a building to jail, which costs upwards of £37,000 a year to keep an individual prisoner in jail. We're very keen on seeing local communities come together and decide what punishment in the community those offenders should undertake. That's worked incredibly well in terms of engaging local communities and offenders, re-engaging them with their local community and actually affecting very positively re-offending rates. We're also very keen on looking at aspects like restorative justice. Restorative justice is an option where if they so wish, a victim of crime can actually face their offender in a controlled environment and actually demonstrate to those offenders what the impact their offending has actually had on that individual, on that person. And that's actually demonstrated a decrease in re-offending rates of 93%. Where that process has been put in place. So we believe in dealing with crime effectively, not just at the whim of the media and locking everybody up. Because locking everybody up costs us an enormous amount of money. Okay? Be under no illusions of that. £37,000 a year to lock a person up. Is that an effective use of our taxing when we look at some of the low-level crimes that people are going to jail for? Surely there's a better way, and the best way of all is to ensure, or try and ensure, they don't re-offend again. We're also very supportive of the PCSOs, because PCSO approach is a local community relationship, and anybody that will be standing here as PPC candidate will tell you that we're fully supportive of the PCSO system and would look to maintain the funding for that. I think I'll stop at that point.
Thank you very much, Paul.